Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to our XTIVIA live session, Demystifying Business Intelligence, presented by Donald Volansky, the Business Development Manager here at XTIVIA. We're also joined this morning by Steve Sieber, XTIVIA's Senior Director of Business Intelligence. My name is Alex Killian, and I'm the Video Editor and Digital Media Specialist here on XTIVIA's marketing team. Before we get started with our live session, a little bit about our company. XTIVIA started in 1992, and since then we've grown to more than 325 employees worldwide, and we've established a reputation as a company delivering cutting-edge IT solutions and technology support for our clients. We've got offices in Colorado, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Texas, and Virginia. For our BI practice, we have over 100 combined years of BI consulting, implementation, and training experience. And we've performed hundreds of implementations impacting thousands of users. Our BI experts are experienced in Microsoft, TIBCO, and information builders analytic tools. If you have any questions come up during this live session, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A section or comment on our YouTube live stream, and we will do our best to answer those at the end of the session. Also, all of the links referenced in this presentation will be in the description on our YouTube following the presentation. So with that, I'll go ahead and pass it over to our presenter, Donald Volansky. Don, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, thanks, Alex. So my name is Don Volansky. I've been in technology for 25 plus years. For 21 years, I had served as a project manager, managing B2B and B2C sites for Budweiser. For the past 4 years, I've served, as Alex had stated, as a senior business development manager with XTIVIA, proudly presenting and serving from our various accounts throughout the practices that we provide. So thank you for your time this morning. Let's jump into our topic of demystifying business intelligence. So let's start off with, what is business intelligence, or BI? Business intelligence is simpler than it sounds. Basically, business intelligence, or BI, takes data from various sources, both internal and external, to help organizations make better business decisions. The right technology is key for any success with business intelligence. You might ask yourself why. Because the right technology pulls the right data and presents it in a way that is clear and easy to understand. When you understand your data, you can use it effectively to inform strategic and tactical business decisions. BI makes data about the business actionable, and that's really key. BI leverages software and services to transform data into actionable intelligence that informs an organization's strategic and tactical business decisions. BI tools access and analyze data sets and present analytical findings and reports, summaries, dashboards, graphs, charts, and maps to provide users with detailed intelligence about the state of their business. So what are some of the challenges the company face around BI? There are several. Starting off with process for implementing BI. How do companies go about this? This is something that companies ponder all the time. They know that the answers lie internally, but they don't necessarily know how to mine or make that information actionable. Those companies that do jump into it at times have issues with, unfortunately, taking a siloed approach. You might have your marketing division working in their vertical to come up with their business answers, not taking into account what's happening on the sales side or on the operations side. And it's highly important that if you do have a BI platform, that you're leveraging not just individual business units, but the entirety. Furthermore, how do companies go about validating their advanced analytics? Oftentimes they seem to focus in on one area, trying to refine or define the metrics that are being utilized, and they forget about the whole picture. So it's important that they consider that whole aspect of fine tuning versus advanced analytics and how the two come together. How do companies really balance past events with what will take place in the future state? Highly important to consider both aspects. It isn't just one-sided. There's a lot of talk these days about AI, artificial intelligence, and how that is the future. And it's important to remember that while, yes, AI is definitely beneficial and helps with answering potential future state scenarios, you have to remember that the aspect of business intelligence really answers current and past scenarios that allows for AI to fully paint the picture. And lastly, it's difficult at times for companies to figure out how to merge all their data. There are disparate data sets that are involved, various sources that the data is coming from, and it's important for companies to really take a strategic approach on how to access that information, extract it, transform it, and load it, and put it to its full use. Business intelligence platforms aren't necessarily the cheapest. They don't have to be overtly expensive, but at the same time, regardless of the cost, you want to make sure that you're fully receiving the benefit from any platform that you've invested in. So how do you know if you need BI? There are several markers. As far as that goes, if you have a ton of data and you're not generating any information from that, probably a pretty good indicator that BI could be of benefit to you. One word that I'd like to throw out there around that is if a company has a ton of spreadsheets and a lot of manual processing around those spreadsheets, probably a good idea to implement a BI system. Is there an integration challenge with the data that a company utilizes? Are they sitting back and wondering, hey, how do we get that information from our operations to some way, somehow work with the information that's coming out of a customer relationship management platform or CRM platform? How would we make something like that happen? Would that benefit us? Another potential reason for BI. Is there a need for self-service reporting? So do you have your IT team out there spending an inordinate amount of time creating canned reports only to turn those reports over to a business unit, and the business unit says, well, this is great, but we only kind of sort of use the information. We spend more time developing our own unique custom reports because we need to take the reporting that is currently there to the next level. Turning over some self-service reporting to those end users definitely could be a benefit, and you would need a BI platform to do that. And lastly, does your company know currently where it lands with current threats or pitfalls? Are you looking at what business areas might be having trouble? If you don't have that capability, then it's probably a good time to consider a BI platform. So what can you do with BI? There really are three major points to this area. First and foremost, it improves the effectiveness of core business processes. And in doing so, ultimately, you're returning profits and cost savings. And ultimately, if those two things hold true, then you certainly are going to drive current and future state performance for your company. So let's talk about some of the features and benefits of BI. As far as features go, right, again, you're providing faster, more timely reporting for analysis and planning. You're improving your integration from your various data sets that the company has. There is a quicker recognition of critical information. There is a historical analysis that would be utilized to predict those future events. And lastly, visualizations for quick consumptions. So those are the features. And of course, the benefits, as mentioned previously, you're saving time and money. You're boosting productivity. You're supporting better business decision making. You're increasing your team's efficiencies. You're delivering insights across the entire organization, not just a single business unit. And you're really providing data that it means something. It's relevant to the company. And, this should be stated too. There's a small graph here, and I think you can see it behind me as well, that BI really is threefold. It's people, it's the technology, and it's the practices that are employed behind any sort of BI platform that you have. There really are two types of BI. There's the traditional or the modern. The traditional, as an example, would be reports, columns, and tables, tactically used maybe perhaps for a line manager, if you will. IT professionals use in-house transactional data to generate the reports for some end user. Oftentimes you'll find this in a regulatory or financial setting. The accuracy is absolutely a must. That's one driving key aspect of traditional or classic BI. And the questions and data sets used are always predictable. Flipping the coin to the modern BI approach, business users interact with agile, smart systems to analyze their data more quickly. You're getting into that self-service sort of role. You're quickly changing the dynamics via filters, variables, marketing events, which provides a value to getting at an answer, but that isn't necessarily 100% accurate, but it's awful close. So there's a little bit of a trade-off of the accuracy aspect, which is certainly paramount, as we mentioned, with the classical or traditional, versus the modern, which is more of a broad sweep that provides some valuable insights. So know the technology, right? It's always important when you're spending the time to go through a BI solution. You want to understand the internal IT resources that are capable by your company. Some environments are better suited for open source technology. Are you currently working locally, or are you in the cloud? Do you have a hybrid approach, or are you one way, perhaps local today, but you're very much thinking that in 5 years, the cloud is where you'll play? Important to know that before you choose your BI platform. Are you looking to use out-of-the-box functionality from your BI platform? Are you going to want to configure it, or are you going to want to completely customize whatever platform you're using? What aspects of mobile is important to consider? Do you have field reps and sales personnel that need to be able to access the information in a timely manner from an iPad, tablet, or a phone or mobile device? And lastly, what sort of integration and add-on applications are you wanting to consider for your platform? That sort of wraps up the overview of where and how you might want to consider using business intelligence. For spending a few minutes with us, we really would like to leave you with some parting gifts. We have a 14-point BI checklist that can be downloaded from this presentation, which will be made available via YouTube. We also would like to ask you to, or remind you, to check out our YouTube channel that has all sorts of tremendous information about XTIVIA and how we can help you to service your business needs. Alex?
All right, thanks so much, Don. That was a lot of really great, useful information there. It looks like we have a few questions that came in during the session.
Great.
We will do our best to answer as many of those as we can.
Okay.
First up, do you provide all components necessary for an end-to-end BI solution?
Well, at this juncture, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Steve Sieber. Steve is the head of our business intelligence and data warehouse practice. So Steve, why don't you say hello and take a question or two.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, to answer that question, I'd say yes, we do support our customers and their ETL, data warehousing, reporting needs. all of which make up an end-to-end BI solution. So we can help you pull your data from your disparate data sources, transform that, integrate that, put it into a data warehouse, then lay a business intelligence solution on top of that so you can do your reporting and ad hoc analysis.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Steve. Next up, a question says, how many licenses will we need?
Well, that depends on how many users you'll have. Licenses are usually either per user or per CPU. Some vendors offer both types. You'll want to analyze the vendor's license types and then choose the appropriate license type for your needs.
Okay. Next question, how does XTIVIA support clients, not just in implementing BI products, but with their overall BI strategies?
Well, we can provide consultative services to review your infrastructure, design data flows, that ETL process, design and build warehouses and data marts, install and configure BI tools, and train users on how to use and administer those tools.
Awesome. All right, looks like we have a couple more questions, I think. All right, how easy is it to access and integrate multiple sources of data, both internal and external, with your product?
Well, all the products we support have robust connection capabilities. Make it easy to connect to and pull data from internal and external sources, whether that's a flat file on an FTP server, a RESTful API web service, or an on-premise database.
All right, awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions we have time for today. But thank you all so much for joining us. And please don't hesitate to reach out to Dawn if you have any further questions. And please check out those links. They will be in our YouTube description. And as always, this live session will be available on our YouTube channel immediately following the live session here. So Dawn and Steve, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Alex, thank you.
Thank you.
And everyone have a great Thursday.